Hello and welcome to the very first episode of the Spook It podcast. I am Matt.
And I'm Caitlin.
And we are sitting in our dining room because this is where the magic happens. I'm very excited. Are you excited?
I am excited too. I can't wait to see what you have today for us to talk about.
Yes, me too, because this is, again, very first episode. We're going to knock out some kinks. It's going to be probably a little weird for the first few, but hey, you're probably wondering what the heck is this anyway. So, the Spook It podcast, our idea was based off of Book It, that Pizza Hut program thing where you,
which they're starting back up, I heard.
Are they?
Yeah.
Probably because I heard about us.
It was really weird to hear that.
But if you don't know what Book It was, I think in middle school, elementary school,
I don't remember ever having it.
Little kid school, you'd pretty much get a button, and you'd read these books, you'd answer some questions, and you'd get a sticker.
They were like the foamy stickers, weren't they?
Yeah, they were like
squishy.
pop-up
ones.
Yeah,
we did have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this was it actually might have been at super early elementary school.
Okay. Well, anyway, you brought it into Pizza Hut after you got 4 or 5, and you get a free pizza. And
that was great.
Being a kid in the early 2000s, pizza was, I don't know, pretty cool. The Ninja Turtles ate pizza.
You could literally read anything.
Yeah, you just read it and it didn't matter. So the idea with this show is we'd probably do 4 episodes, 1 to 2 stories each, whatever we kind of find, whatever we like. And every 5th episode would be something different. I actually have an idea for the 5th episode already.
Ooh. But you get no pizza with this.
No pizza.
Sorry.
You can have pizza.
While you eat it. Actually, we could do that.
I might have pizza.
You could eat pizza while you listen to this.
Yeah.
But no pizza. You don't get any pizza.
Not till the 5th one, so if you're eating pizza now, please stop.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I'm currently drinking a Gatorade Frost Rainberry. That has nothing to do with pizza, nor is it scary. Unless you're afraid of electrolytes and good flavor. But anyway, yeah. I actually have some questions I want to ask before we get started.
Okay.
Alright. And I think I asked you these already. So, scariest book you've ever read, scariest movie you've ever seen, and scariest life experience. I'll do mine too.
Scariest book, hands down, is Taylor Poe.
Taylor Poe, yep.
Taylor Poe is the scariest book, and still to this day, I will think about it, and then I'll start thinking too adult about it, and scare myself.
Well, we live out in the woods.
Yeah, but
you
at
hear
the same,
stuff,
it doesn't matter. At the same time, that is definitely the scariest book, and to this day, and I don't think I ever want to read it again because it will just bring up horrible memories of me not sleeping at night.
Well, we're probably gonna read it anyway.
And then what was it?
Scariest movie.
Scariest movie. And still, this is from your kidhood, stuff that just sticks with you, because you to this day, there's not a lot that really gets under my skin with movies. I would have to say Watership Down.
The bunny movie.
Yeah, that stayed with me really bad. Revisiting that is hard for me, and we did recently a little, but I don't think I can do it again.
Maybe we'll watch that
It's on one of the top 10 scariest kids.
It is, yeah.
Just one of those things that just really messes you up. So I all the horror movies that I watch, to be honest, nothing stuck with me as much as Watership Down.
And that means something, because you watch a lot more horror movies than I do.
Yeah. So that was really scary. And scariest life event?
Yeah.
I haven't had a lot of stuff that's happened to me. I would say that it was when we were me and my mom were driving home that night, and just a couple streets away we passed someone in the ditch, with their like back to us, like in the fetal position, and she wanted to stop, and I just looked at her like, the fuck, you crazy bitch, like, are you kidding me? And we kept going, but I mean, it didn't matter. We were only like a few houses away from where it was just, that was strange, very, very strange. So it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, so it's just one of those things that.
So you don't stop for people in the ditch?
Nope.
All right. Well, hey.
Too many horror movies.
Yeah, that's who sits in a ditch, like back to the road.
Well, it was like 3 in the morning because we thought it was something like in the ditch, and our light like went across, and I was like, what is that? You know, because it was, I think it was like a white guy, but he had no shirt on, so like you just saw shiny skin.
It's like Gollum.
Yeah, and like she was like, should we stop? No, we should not. He's fine. He's got his own personal problems. Let him figure them out.
Let ditch guy figure it out. Mine, scariest book, yeah, I would agree, Taylor Poe. If you haven't read Taylor Poe, I recommend it. It's really odd that it was like a kid's story. Like I think like American folklore-ish type story.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Because it was like, spoiler, a guy dies in it. You think. I don't know. You don't see it.
I mean, the way that a guy can die with kids around is like he disappears.
Yeah.
Like it's just not talked about anymore.
Maybe we'll do that next podcast.
But it is it sticks with you.
It's spooky. There's pictures in it too. Let's see. Scariest movie. I think I Pumpkinhead 2.
Yeah.
I think and again, this is
affected you, didn't it?
As a kid, Pumpkinhead 2 was on back. I think it was the WB or UPN had like a Saturday afternoon movie. Like, probably, you remember that? Yeah. I don't think do they do that? I'm sure they do that anymore.
I don't know if UPN's even around.
No, it's the CW now. WB.
Oh, well, then they don't. No.
Spooky TV. And they had that on like middle of the afternoon, and it's that scene. We recently rewatched it, and it's not that scary. It's kind of goofy.
No,
he still looks cool. Pumpkinhead
has cool. Lasted. I feel he has lasted quite a while.
But he's like running through the woods after the kids, and I just remember seeing that scene. It was scary. Yeah, Jurassic Park was really scary too. But I really liked dinosaurs. So just to see them kill people, I don't know.
I thought you were good.
I played with you. No. And scariest life event, I told you about this too. It was like, what are they called? Sleep paralysis?
Yes.
I tell you about
that scared me. And when you told me about that, I just looked at you like, who are you?
If anybody has this or has experienced this, please let me know. Because I'd love to find more people that this happens to. And it wasn't until recently when I heard on another podcast these people talking about it where I realized like that's what it was. But it's basically you laying in bed. It's almost like a dream, but you like can't move. You're awake. I don't know. I remember feeling or seeing somebody. I don't know. I'm trying to remember now. And it's kind of hard. But I remember being there and being awake.
Because it feels like there's a force on top of you.
Yeah, that's it.
It's probably the part of your brain that's still shut down is seeing like this black mass. In the middle of your vision, so you're gonna think it's over you if it's in the middle of your vision. Yeah,
I don't know. But I'm here. I'm on my back, and I remember the most recent time, which was still a couple of years ago. I'm sitting here smacking Caitlin in my sleep. I think. Yep. Maybe it never happened because you didn't get up.
No, I did not get up. So it's very creepy that all this was going on next to me, and I had no idea.
Yeah, you can't talk. You can't. Anyway, we'll have it. You'll be happy to know it hasn't happened since.
I'd rather you get a healthy drug addiction.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. But again, if you've ever experienced something like that, please let us know because I'm scared. I want to know what happens. Okay. All right. Well, that's enough witty banter. Somewhat witty banter. I have some news for you, and I had to delve through. All right, so I'm going to read you. The headline reads: Slender Man murder attempt. Girl stab. Ugh, type of weird.
Girls.
Yeah, girls stab friend 19 times to please Slender Man.
I'd heard about this roughly.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. Yeah, lightly. Something small where it was like a picture of the girl and it was like, this is a girl who stabbed her friend.
Well, I'll just read a little bit of it. If you don't know who Slender Man is, he's like, I don't know where you've been. He's all over the place nowadays, it seems. But
Childhood friend of Kate's.
what?
I don't know.
Anyway, he's really tall. He's a like a creepy pasta now. Does that even make sense? But anyways, this tall guy, no face, wearing a suit, steals kids. But here we go. Here's the thing. Two 12-year-old Wisconsin girls stabbed their friend almost to death in the woods to please the mythological creature known as Slender Man. Morgan Geyser and Anissa Weir lured a friend. I like how it's in quotes, actually. Friend. I'm doing air quotes. You can't see. Lured a friend into a Waukesha Park. That might not be right. Waukesha. If you live near Waukesha Park, please let me know. On Saturday morning, where they proceeded to stab her 19 times, prosecutors say. They claim they did it to join the cult, I'm doing air quotes again, of Slenderman and work as his proxies. If you didn't know already, Slenderman is an internet meme that was created in 2009 for a paranormal Photoshop contest. He is depicted as very tall, lanky, and pale faceless being who sports a suit and supposedly creeps around wooded areas, stalking them and stealing children. What do you have to say about that? Would you ever stab someone 19 times to join a cult? A fake cult?
A fake cult.
A thing I heard on the internet?
I think a lot of cults probably in essence are fake. In the sense, I don't know. It just, it's not like, oh, we're a legit cult. We are filed under the U.S. government act.
Yeah, but you're not going to see you're not going to see like Grumpy Cat.
Yeah, yeah,
like,
no,
I want to join that.
No, I
guy.
understand. Yeah, there's a difference between like Slenderman and then Jones or Manson or stuff like that. Like at least there's a person there. I don't know. This is interesting. Just in the sense is if it's real or not. It's very strange, but
like Slenderman's real?
No. These girls. Just because it's the same thing, like when there was like a problem with like SpongeBob when it was on the air, and someone had said like a little girl had drowned trying to find the pineapple.
What?
So it's odd, the story itself.
I blame the parents for that. If your kid is trying to find a pineapple,
well, and it's one of those things where it sounds like a little outlandish to believe, but then at the same time, it's not. I don't know. These kids do this.
Of course, kids are on the internet all the time now.
Yeah, but a lot of them might, they might not realize that the stuff on there is not real. There isn't an actual... Unless there is a cult that has not been discovered yet that does function under the thought that Slenderman is leading them.
I don't know. There's really nothing else in this article. It was weird that I didn't feel remorse, one of the attackers later told police. I don't know. Yeah. Do you think you would feel remorse if you attack somebody, if you like stab somebody? It depends who it is.
Yeah,
I could probably stab some people and not.
I would think so. Like if it was
like this cat.
If it was needed.
Oh. All right. Well, you ready for your first story?
Sure.
All right. So I kind of went with a ghost theme. I figured. Oh man, we didn't even mention Halloween.
Oh yeah, it's tomorrow.
Halloween's tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's Thursday.
Ugh. Hopefully this will be up in time for Halloween, but we'll see. I am lazy. So I tried to find 2 ghost stories in a quick amount of time. I don't know. The site, I'll tell you where I've got these 2. Scaryforkids.com is the site. Some of the stuff I've read before, but it's worded a little differently. So if you've heard these stories before, but a little differently, let me know too, because I don't know. This site's okay, I guess. But anyway, here's the first one, wristbands.
Okay.
There's a picture here of some creepy girl in a hospital. Hospital's a hotel for sick people.
Yeah, it's, the Hotel de la Puke.
Yum. So there's a picture of like, is that like a sexy nurse outfit? She's not. I mean, she's kind of weird looking.
I think that little red cross on a hat, since no one wears that anymore, is the international sign of sexy Halloween costume nurse. Oh,
this might be a very different, scary story then.
Yes.
So the little tagline is, the wristbands, as the story, is a creepy ghost story from Korea about a doctor who has a close encounter with a ghost while working the night shift at a hospital. Korea. That's a scary place.
Korea, you are...
You're terrifying to me.
Damn, Korea, you scared.
South Korea, you're okay. Alright. Here we go, wristbands. Insert spooky music if I can. Perfect. In Korea, when a patient is taken to a hospital, a white wristband is placed on their left arm. These wristbands contain the patient's name and information. When a patient dies, a red wristband is placed on their right arm, and they're taken to the morgue. In one particular hospital in Korea, they don't mention North or South Korea. It's just Korea.
Yeah, just Korea. I am not good with maps and areas, so Korea is just...
Where have I not been?
It's
Korea.
just Korea. Yeah.
In one particular hospital in Korea, a young doctor was working the night shift. It was around 2 a.m. when he finished his last operation. He was on the 5th floor and pressed the button for the elevator. The doctor was tired after a long day and was looking forward to the end of his shift at 2 a.m. The hospital was very quiet. Most of the patients were asleep, and many of the nurses had already gone home. Do they close? Do hospitals close?
No.
Have closing times? Maybe
no.
Well, in Korea.
No, maybe. No, hospitals are usually 24/7.
Do they do operations till 2 a.m. in the morning? All night? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think it's a constant thing. They have to schedule it.
Nobody wants that schedule
with
either.
their surgeon, so...
I can fit your gallbladder.
I would think maybe in a
a
serious emergency, like bad.
Well, it doesn't say, but let's assume it was something important. Okay, so this doctor wants to go home. He entered the elevator, and there was just one other person in there. He casually chatted with the woman while the elevator descended. Do you chat with people in elevators?
No, I try not to make direct eye contact with anyone.
I do not. If you do talk with people in an elevator, you're weird. Don't talk to me if you're.
It's creepy if you talk, and then it's creepy if you just stand there and not talk. So
yeah,
I'd rather.
But that's more of a mutual. You stand over there, I'll stand over here. Let's ride this thing together.
Yes.
The elevator stopped at the basement, and the door opened. They saw an old man dressed in a white gown standing there. The old man was about to get in when the doctor suddenly slammed the close button and punched the button for the 5th floor. So he's a jerk. Why did you do that? Asked the astonished. Do you want to do a woman's voice? Forget it. I was going to do it slightly racist, but I decided not to.
There, we had an idea. Wasn't that fun?
Yeah, that was real fun. Why did you do that? Asked the astonished woman. I've performed a lot of operations. I'm doing a sexy doctor.
Like Enrique, Doctor Associate.
He's going to be a sexy doctor. I've performed a lot of He's Spanish now too. It doesn't matter. I've performed a lot of operations, replied the doctor. I've seen a lot of people die. When a patient dies, they get a red wristband placed on their arm. The woman was silent. You saw it, didn't you? Said the doctor. That old man? The old man had a red wristband on his arm. A red wristband, said the woman as she raised her right arm. You mean like this one?
M. Night Shyamalan.
So, 2 ghosts in one story.
Yeah. Crazy.
Of course, yeah. For the first, we're out of the gate. 2 ghost stories, or 2 ghosts in one story. First episode. Ooh. I don't like how the doctor says I've seen a lot of people die. You wouldn't say that to just assume a normal person.
Well, especially, it's either, did they say if it was a nurse or just
I think it's just a woman. He casually chatted with the woman.
Yeah, it's this place is bonkers. People die all the time. What are you here for?
Here to see the deceased?
Yeah, oh, my son's in actually the room. Oh, he's probably dead. Everyone dies here. I see it all the time. Da, 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 da.
Do they put
he shouldn't be, if he's, that together with everything, he shouldn't be so surprised to see
ghosts.
Maybe.
We've seen a lot of Have we seen any Korean horror? I know we do a lot of Japanese horror.
Yes, I don't. Oh,
and they see ghosts all the time.
Nope. Again with the map stuff. Don't know which is different. So I have seen a lot of Asian horror.
There we go. Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah, I don't know which one's Korean or
Well, Tokyo Gore Police, you can assume is
Tokian.
Play me out, Lou.
But yeah, I've seen a lot of Asian horror. I would have to do some research to find out which one is actually, Japanese.
I'm sure some of the
Chinese.
ABCs of Death are probably Korean.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, anyway, they like their ghosts.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think as a culture, they're more into ghosts, right? They're like ancestors.
Well, and that just goes back to their beginnings. They're extremely spiritual and into, certain ghosts watch over this, and certain ancestors protect that, that kind of thing. So they can have, they're very into that. There's always someone for something watching or protecting something, like that kind of thing.
This one's for murder.
Yeah, so they're pretty good at it. They're very good at their ghost stories because they have a lot more that connect.
Right.
Than we do,
Well, we don't really. We have our TV shows.
Well,
We're searching for ghosts.
We kind of have one ghost.
Casper.
The OG of JC himself. The original ghost.
Oh my god.
The holiest of ghosts.
I thought you were going to say like Boo Berry or something.
No, that man's just a legend.
We'll just go to... Anyway. So what'd you think? What'd you think of wristbands? As a whole.
It's cute. I think it's good for, like, kids. Something creepy, nothing dirty, like stuff
like around a campfire or something.
Yeah. It's, I think if someone likes little, like, kids that get twists, where...
How many kids get twists?
Well, I mean, like, if you're telling, like, an 8 or 9-year-old that could understand it, where, oh, that guy was a ghost. Well, the girl next to him's a ghost, too. Like, ooh, that kind of thing.
I'm nodding, and I'm aware of that. You can't hear me nod.
I don't.
So she's just not talking to nobody.
I don't know if it's like super scary, but it's fun enough.
Ready for the next one?
Sure.
Your pants dry?
Mm-hmm.
Mine are not. Sunday morning. There is another photo here. It looks like from Spooky. Oh yeah, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. You read those?
Yes, right? I read them too many times to count.
Again, if
audiobooks.
Yeah, that's all right. Again, if you were a kid, when are those 90s?
I can't.
Late 90s?
I don't even know.
Well, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is a book series. I think there's 3.
Yes.
The stories were okay, but it was the pictures that were absolutely terrifying.
Are not fair.
I'll probably put some up on Twitter, maybe on Facebook too, or in show notes. I assume we can do show notes. Yeah, they're really scary. And then they changed them to not scary.
Yes,
not as gruesome looking.
They re-released the book or something,
Yeah.
or they just re-released the artwork and they were like, "Hey, have you always wanted your kids to read this book? Well, now they can without."
They're like cartoonish.
They're definitely not as great.
Ugh. If you get a chance, just literally look up Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and then click on images, and you'll see kind of what we mean.
It is great.
But
some of their stories where you were kind of like, how can this isn't something kids should...
What? Oh, like the Scarecrow one.
Harold.
We'll do that one in this.
So creepy.
Actually, probably a lot of the stories will be pulled from there, just because they're just kind of from everywhere. I kind of like them. Actually, they're nice.
They're great.
They're nice. Sunday morning. Sunday morning is a scary story about a young girl who is always late for mass at her church. Naughty, naughty. It is based on an old French folklore tale called The Spectre's Mass, which was first recorded in 1890. This is the same folklore that inspired the story One Sunday Morning. Okay, so The Spectre's Mass. If you're French and you're into your folklore, you already know what we're talking about. Sorry if you can hear me clicking down. So you ready?
Sure. Yeah.
This one's a little longer. There was a young girl named Josephine who was habitually late for Sunday morning mass at her local church. She always forgot to set her alarm and wouldn't wake up in time. Finally, she got tired of her parents telling her off and decided she would never be late for mass again. Doesn't seem like a kid thing to do. I never liked going early. And...
why aren't her parents going?
To what?
Why aren't your parents going?
I think they are going.
So they just, they're just screw you, they're leaving?
Well, they probably did what you're... Oh, maybe not. Maybe they left without her.
Bye. You're not.
Here. Just show up whenever.
Yeah. We're not going as a family.
Well, good on you, Josephine, for at least wanting to go. One Sunday morning, Josephine woke up at midnight. Unaware what time it was, she thought she had overslept again and jumped out of bed. She quickly got dressed and ran out the door without even looking at the clock. I will say, if it's midnight, probably don't need a clock to see what time it is. Unless it's really early.
What?
It's midnight. She's getting up at midnight.
Yeah.
Why would you get up that early? It was still dark outside, but it usually was dark at that time of year. It was very quiet, and there was nobody else on the street. The only sound she could hear was the noise of her own footsteps on the pavement as she hurried towards the church.
Okay, I remember this one. They worded it differently.
Oh, really?
I guess.
I don't know. If I got up at midnight, I think I would know it's midnight.
Yeah, I think you would realize, like, oh, maybe I've made a mistake. It's got a different feel, too.
Then...
Time. Yeah, it just has a different feel.
You kind of know what time... I don't know.
Like, you know it's not, like, super early in the morning.
But, maybe she's blind. It doesn't tell us. But she could be blind. When she... That's dumb. That's stupid. When she heard the church bell ring, she quickened her pace and took a shortcut through the cemetery. She got to the church just as the service was about to begin and found a seat and took a look around. Ooh. Much to her surprise, she didn't recognize anyone. The church was full of people she had never seen before. They were all staring straight ahead, and an eerie silence hung over the gathering. When the priest came out to celebrate Mass, Josephine realized he was a stranger too. You ever been somewhere and you've not known it, like the first day of, no, not the first day of class. Have you ever walked into like the wrong class?
Oh, that's a horrible feeling.
So you have?
Oh, yeah.
What class? I've never done that. I've never.
Oh, really?
I've been that guy with like my map and my thing. Everywhere I go, what room is it?
I don't remember what class exactly, but I think I've done it in almost every, like, elementary school at least once, to middle school, to high school.
How long does it take to like find out? It's like halfway through class and it's like, ooh.
No, I haven't sat through. Just walked into, like, where you're like one of the last people in, like you're kind of late anyhow, and then it's like, fuck, like this isn't.
Whoops.
And then you just like, all right, turn around, hope no one saw you, kind of thing. And there's always that one person that like looks at you that's like, oh, I know.
You should just moonwalked out.
I'll always know.
And then you're best friends.
And that's it. They just like stare at you like,
creepy. That's a creepy story. We should just tell that one. The priest told the congregation to pray for the soul of a young girl named Francois. I thought it was a boy's name. Francois? Francoise. Francois, I believe. Who had died the night before. Josephine was shocked. She knew Francois, and she had never even heard that the girl was ill. Something was radically wrong. Wow! That's a guitar riff. They put radically in. I don't have many friends. She began to feel very uneasy. She looked around again, and as her eyes began to adjust to the dim light, she saw someone she knew. There was an old woman sitting at the back of the church. Josephine's heart sank when she remembered the old woman had died the year before. Looking towards the front of the church, she saw that some of the people sitting there looked very strange. Their skin seemed to be pearly white. One of them turned his head, and Josephine discovered to her horror that he was nothing but a skeleton in a suit. Just a skull and some bones. And a suit.
I mean, at least he's polite.
If I was a skeleton walking around, I'd probably go business casual. You can't be bothered. I mean, you still want to look good.
It would cover up the most, though.
A suit?
Yeah.
Yeah, but your head's sticking out.
Yeah,
your little skull head. And then a suit's gonna look weird on you with just bones. You know?
No, not if you get like one of those new fitted ones.
And so is a skeleton going to like a men's warehouse?
Yes, like making sure.
One suit, please.
He doesn't.
You don't like the way you look.
He doesn't want the classic or the modern. He wants something fitted, up to date.
Some slimming.
Yeah.
Maybe not slimming.
Shaker.
Candlestick maker. This is how we talk normally. This is a mass for the dead, thought Josephine. Everybody here is dead except me. It's a specter's mass. Roll credits. She noticed that some of them were staring at her. Their eyes were filled with anger. It was clear to her that she had no business being there. Is that how you feel when you go into church?
Yeah, once I get past the sizzly smell of skin burning.
Just, I'd still sit with you.
Thanks.
Suddenly she felt a tap on her shoulder. Nervously, she turned around and found her grandfather standing in the row behind her. He had been dead for 3 years. I like the way this reads. There was a worried look on his face. He leaned toward her and whispered in her ear. "Leave right now while you still can," he hissed. "You don't belong here." My throat. Josephine immediately grabbed her coat and walked quickly towards the door. She heard hollow footsteps echoing behind her and glanced back. The dead were rising out of their seats and following her. Their faces were twisted in fury and hate. Josephine was terrified, and she dashed to the door, a pack of shrieking ghosts snapping at her heels. She felt skeletal hands grabbing at her, trying to stop her leaving. She twisted and turned, struggling to free herself from the grasp. Her coat was ripped off, and her hat was snatched from her head, just as she managed to slip out of the door. Screaming and crying and almost out of her mind with fear, Josephine ran all the way home and told her parents what had happened. Later that day, someone came to the house holding what was left of Josephine's coat and hat. They had been found in the cemetery, torn to shreds.
Yeah, I remember this one. It started with her hearing the church bell.
Oh.
She heard, and she had woken up at the witching hour kind of thing and had heard this distant church bell thinking, oh my God, I missed it kind of thing. That's why she ran to the
That
church
would make more
originally. She had heard the bell for the dead to come.
Because I've heard, my alarm will go off sometimes and you get into like,
yeah,
you start getting
that
ready.
Panic.
Then you realize it's your day off.
That's why that's how I remember the beginning of it. But this did read out two different ways. I don't know what the audiobook might be different a little bit.
I think it's him reading it, isn't it?
It is, I think it's a guy named Albert?
Alvin Schwartz.
Alvin Schwartz, that's right. I don't know.
We didn't do any research. But
it's great. It's really good if you find that one. He's very expressive. I listened to it. I listened to it for a month at least.
Oh, straight.
Oh, yeah, just straight, just on repeat of all 3 books. Except the first one on each one was all messed up. So it stopped halfway through. So I have no idea how the first 3 stories in each book ends.
That's sad.
That's
like watching a trilogy, but having the first one.
It was really rough. So Bess was one of them. I remember that about the a horse.
Oh.
No idea how that ends.
Sadly.
It just stopped halfway. I don't know what the switch around is or anything. So great books though.
Well, what did you think of this one? Sunday morning? Is that what it was called? Sunday.
I think it'd be really interesting to find out what that original folklore is.
Right.
Was it the fisherman? What was it?
Spectre's Mass.
Spectre's Mass.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking fisherman. Why am I thinking fisherman? That's weird.
I have no idea.
You're
probably having a stroke. A brain.
That's really weird.
Well, isn't there? No, what's the one where they bet her to stay in the graveyard and they grab her, and when they come back they find her coat? Oh, we'll probably do it on this. I'll look it up. But there's like an urban legend, I think.
Oh yeah. We have a good book of urban legends too. It's huge actually. I didn't know there were that many. And we'll probably do some of that too.
Yeah.
They're all short. But we'll be able to do a few of them. There's some really different ones in there. I'm not sure if that is a urban legend or not.
We'll look it up.
Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking fisherman.
I'm
a little baffled.
I like how you're still on that.
I'm a little baffled by that because, when you say the Spectre's Mass, it's it's probably about the same story as this one. But I was thinking fisherman, so I was like, I wonder where they get this from.
Ooh, that'll be for next week.
No, but I think this it's cool. It's cute. It's one of those again that probably the artwork will
scare
give you nightmares. Shouldn't be shown.
Well, I think it's on. I think that's it.
You think that's it?
Yeah. Well, anyway. So ghosts, Halloween. What is your favorite ghost story? Movie, we can do movies. Who cares?
Well, we didn't. Well, it's
your favorite ghost movie. I have mine now.
Well, you say ghost story, and I instantly just go to my favorite, and it's called a bunch of different things. I've always called it Lick Lick Lick.
Is this a story or a movie?
This is an urban legend.
Oh.
Of the little girl that has the dog
Oh.
and she'll put her hand down when she's scared and it'll lick it.
But that's not a ghost.
No, it's not a ghost story, but it is.
Oh, like a ghost story. Like
yeah,
a
it's
spooky
what
story.
Yeah, that's what. Is that what you meant? Or you
No, I meant like
an
with a
actual
ghost. With ghosts
story?
in it. Because ghosts are pretty popular, at least in movies. I was thinking more along like a favorite ghost movie. Though we got demons around nowadays, so it's kind of hard to say what's ghost and what's.
Yeah.
I will say the Grave Encounters movies. Those are ghosts.
Yeah, those are ghosts, and that's good.
If you haven't seen Grave Encounters, they're both really well done, I think.
For low budget,
yeah,
it's actually really well done.
It's found footage. It's really, really creepy. Chances are you've seen screenshots of that girl like turns around. If you look at like anything scary, they usually show it. They're both really good. The second one's I really like the second one too, up to a point. And if you watch it, you'll know exactly what that point is.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you.
I think they know where to put the little money that they have. They do.
Yeah.
They pay attention to making sure that it is done good. After that, you can't blame writers.
Yeah.
Or anything or you can't fault the movie for kind of it going wonky.
Right. Well, Grave Encounters, I might as well tell you what. It's about a group of ghost hunters
And this
going
is
into like an
basically
asylum.
it's like a spoof of Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
The guy almost looks exactly like that guy.
Yeah. Whoa, bro.
Yeah, he's exactly the same. And the first location almost looks identical to their first location in their first
It's
episode.
like this asylum. But it winds up, ghosts are real.
It's actually real, yeah.
And it looks really. It's a generally creepy movie. There are some jump scares.
They do good.
The second one, the same. They're almost the same, except
I think
the story's
that's one
a
of
little different.
that's one of the movies that I think I had mentioned to you that I liked it because when they're doing stuff, they still hold the camera and everything, but there are moments where they just throw the camera down.
Yeah, right, and they just
to do so it puts you a little bit more in the moment of how if
this
you're
could be real.
I guess if you're doing like recording stuff, there are going to be moments, whether it's a ghost, a monster, or whatever's going on, that you are going to just like, oh, fuck the camera, like I need to help or do or get away. And they do like a pretty good job of trying to integrate kind of like, oh, screw this, like I need to help this girl or find him or whatever. So
that'd be my pick. Grave Encounters.
That is really, really good. I'm not sure. The ghost stuff, like a lot of them, if something's not happening, then I kind of,
Yeah, they can be
I kind of walk away from it. I do like Ghost Encounters. I think that's really.
Or Grave Encounters.
Grave Encounters.
Did I say Ghost Encounters?
No, I think I said that.
Grave Encounters.
Just like Fisherman.
So what would your ghost movie be again?
It would be Ghost Ship.
You decided on Ghost Ship.
I love that movie.
Maybe that's where the fisherman thing came from.
Maybe it's trying to slowly push through my head.
That's not the one with the no, that's the fog I'm thinking of with the lepers or whatever.
Yeah. That's good too.
Ugh.
I don't know.
Ghost Ship. That's the one. The people are on the ship. The people come on the ship, right? And it winds up being haunted.
Yeah, it was like a really grand ship. I mean, not Titanic grand, but the rich went on it kind of thing, and then something happens on it, and it's kind of like that Mary Celeste, like just found floating kind of thing, or people claim they've seen it floating, so a crew goes out like trying to find it because it's supposed to have a ton of money on it, and they do, and then ghostly situations occur.
And everybody. Oh no, I don't want to say that. When did that movie come out?
Oh,
10 years ago.
Yeah, it has one of the greatest scenes.
Is Owen Wilson in that? Which movie is Owen Wilson in?
That is a haunting. Haunting on. The Haunting. It's just The Haunting.
Okay. Is that the one where he gets like stabbed by a deer head, like on the wall?
No, he's looking in a fire thing, and the lion head like swings out and cuts it off or something.
Nothing to do about Ghost Ship.
No, but Ghost Ship is great. I do love that movie a lot. So
that's on Netflix, right? Is it on Netflix
Maybe?
still?
No.
Grave Encounters are still on Netflix. I think both of them.
Ghost Ship is on one of your Amazon, Amazon, Hulu, or
Yeah, just
it's
YouTube it.
everywhere.
If you haven't seen it, I don't know what's wrong with you. It's
no,
old.
that is a great movie though. It's super fun. It's not not anything awesome or mesmerizing. It's just really fun and really good for just watching a movie to kill time.
I can honestly not think of a ghost story. I remember like around the campfire, because we did a lot of camping when I was younger. It'd be like the normal, like the urban like legendy stuff, a hook hand. That's actually the one that comes to mind. Maybe that was it. Huh. We never really told ghost stories, because I don't know, none of us really...
Well, yeah.
None of me and my friends really thought that stuff was real.
No.
So ghost stories were just kind of like, eh.
Well, I mean, you've read the stuff on Creepypasta. Is there anything on there where you're like, yes?
Dude, The Rake? Man.
Yeah, you're a big fan of that.
I like The Rake. We'll go over it because we'll probably do him in an episode and we'll go over what The Rake is. He's spooky. Look him up. Right now. Pause this. Even if you're driving, look it up. The Rake. But yeah, The Rake is cool. Again, we'll go over that. I think that's about it. Anything you want to add?
I don't think so. I think
decent episode.
Yeah.
I don't have my timer on after editing, but yeah. Hopefully this will only get better.
And if you can listen to this and either give us some of your thoughts, any stories that you have read, creepy stuff that you have heard about, and would like our opinion on, we've got a lot of it.
Yeah, we do have a lot of opinions that people would need to listen.
We do.
We're at twitter.com/spookitpodcast, facebook.com. You can like us. Same thing, Spook It Podcast. And I think we have I think we're at spookitpodcast@gmail.com. Try it. If you don't get an answer, that's because we're not. And I'll tell you next episode where we're at. But yeah, that was good. Again, this is the very first episode. We're gonna iron some of the kinks out, and hopefully just get better as the show progresses. As each episode should get better. Any thoughts you guys have, please let us know. Whether it be good or bad, and we'll do our best to please the masses. I think this is fun. This is kind of a fun little chat we like to do.
Yeah.
So
definitely. I
know this episode will be up on Podomatic. Should be on iTunes starting next episode. I've got to work that out too. I think that's it. Anything you... Yeah. I want to give a big shout out to my friend Justin who made the logo. I have no idea where I can plug him. If you go on... I don't even know if he wants me to tell you his Facebook. But Justin, if you're listening to this, thank you very much for the logo. It is amazing.
And if you have someplace that you would like us to mention you, so if you do logos for other people, we love it.
Yeah, if you need any work done, he did say, if you guys need photo printing, Photoshoppy stuff done, get with me and I'll get him to get with you, if that makes any sense. But yeah, thanks for that, Justin, Jay, if you're listening. I think that's it. Yep. Good episode. Good episode.
Good episode.
Question mark. I don't have a thing to end.
We will figure that out too.
Alright guys, thanks for listening. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Might be late.
Safe.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.